seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, praising the sun. Oh, hear that day, tell their chants, gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. All on they said, all without it, their joyful tone to every home. All of the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, young and the old. Ding dong, ding dong, love is their song. With a joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, praising the sun. Oh, hear the day, tell their chants, gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. All on they said, all without it, their joyful tone to every home. All on they said, all without it, their joyful tone to every home.
All right, there we go. That was I don't know what's going on there, but my mic got kind of cut off for a second. But anyways, like I was about to say, finally we are here. We're back. It's been quite some time since I did anything in general. I think it's been over a week, which I guess to some people that might not be much, but I guess to me I make stuff like almost every day or every other day, so it felt like more like months that I wasn't doing anything, not even streaming, no videos or anything, but it's fine. We're back, and I do plan. I don't know if you guys follow me up on Gab yet. I do have quite a good amount of followers there compared to Twitter, but I'm on there now if you don't know. And I did say on there the other day that I plan from this day forward to uh, do basically daily streams or basically as much as I can until Christmas, which is just a week away, because kind of want to make up for all the days I was gone and stuff like that. And I was kind of planning to do that for like the whole month anyway, but a lot of things just got in the way, so I couldn't really do much. But yeah, let's get right into the first story here. As you can tell by the title, we have some vaccine problems again, not surprisingly, and it's actually a familiar topic really. Apparently, the CDC might limit the use of Johnson and Johnson COVID vaccines over ongoing blood clot concerns. So, this is actually something that was talked about quite some time back. I think it was let me check here. I think it says it on here. It says in April they originally talked about this, and then they did put a halt on like the vaccine, the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, because of that. So it was actually happening, and like 10 days later they just they said it's fine. The benefits of the shot outweigh the risks, which is supposedly getting blood clots is a pretty big risk to, I mean, from what I'm seeing. So whatever, they said it was fine, and now all this months later, since April, so May, June, July, August, September, so like 8 months. Apparently, this issue is still going, and now they're thinking about limiting the use. It says here, I found this article that pretty much gives us the basic rundown. It says the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Vaccine Advisory Panel is expected to meet Thursday to consider potential restrictions on the vaccine. Pause had been placed on the Johnson & Johnson shot in April while the issue of blood clots was being investigated. That pause, however, was lifted 10 days later by the CDC and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, after an independent advisory panel recommended that the benefits of the shot outweigh the risk. Additional data will now be presented about an increase in blood clot incidents since April. A government official close to the matter told the Washington Post that the blood clots have been linked to 9 deaths. However, the report noted the blood clots related to the vaccine from the New Brunswick-based pharmaceutical giant are still rare. And then it says, according to the FDA's fact sheet, blood clots have been reported in males and females in a wide age range of individuals 18 years and older, with the highest rate approximately 1 case per 100,000 doses administered in females ages 30 to 49 years. So, okay, we're back to where we were months ago with this. And the thing I want to point this out is the fact that, it might not seem like this is like happening a lot. It's 1 per every 100,000 doses. Apparently, it's happening around that rate. But the thing is that 100,000 doses, the first thing you'd think is probably 100,000 people, but 100,000 doses is not 100,000 people. 100,000 doses is probably more about 50,000 people, since 1 dose is basically half of a vaccine. So for every 100,000 dose divided by 2, so 2 for each person, you could probably say that 1 person out of every 50,000 that's fully vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is having some blood clot problems, or could potentially have those problems. And now even we have the booster shot, which is being implemented more and more. And I think last month, is in October, somewhere around there, I think the Johnson & Johnson booster was actually approved by the FDA, so that's supposedly safe to give out despite these problems already happening. So if you add in all the booster shots, then I guess it's a lot more common than they're actually trying to make it out to be. And on the fact sheet from, I think it's the FDA, I think, let me check. Yeah, the FDA's fact sheet, it says about 15 million Americans since the time of the fact sheet was written. Let me check. I think it was updated this month. It says revised December 14th. So yeah, about 15 million Americans have been vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So 9 deaths overall. You could probably say about 200 people might have had blood clot problems. I don't think there's anything here that says the exact amount of people, but it's definitely more than enough to be considered a problem. And the thing is, the blood clots is what we actually know about, and the vaccine is still fairly new. There's still people being vaccinated every day, sadly. So we don't know what else could be going on or what else could happen, let's say a few years from now or 10 years from now. And it says that it's affecting women primarily. So who knows how would that affect women when they get pregnant and stuff like that. I've heard some things about, the vaccine potentially causing miscarriages and stuff like that. I'm not sure about that, but it's always a possibility because, again, we have no idea what could possibly happen years from now. So then I went back a few months for this article when the Johnson & Johnson booster was actually first approved. This was November 24th, so late November, almost last month. It said that the Johnson & Johnson booster shot allows anyone who got the company's initial 1 shot. Oh yeah, because to get an added dose of protection at least 2 months later. So this is even less than the other vaccines. The other vaccines, I think boosters are every 6 months. And this article actually even admits from the CDC saying it that the vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, is only 71% effective against hospitalization. So it's not even 71% effective against the actual virus. It's 71% effective against hospitalization. And that's another thing with this whole vaccine thing. It's pretty crazy. Overall, the goalposts have been moved time over time for the past few years. Every time something comes out about the vaccine, people think, oh, come on, man. Oh, you guys are crazy. Just get the vaccine. Look, it's 99% effective. And then a few months later, it's like, oh, well, actually, it's not 100% effective. It's like 70% effective. Then all these months later, it's, oh, well, you can still get the you can still get the virus and spread the virus with the vaccine, but you don't die from it. Even though, if you remember at the beginning, it was never a thing where it was very dangerous. Everybody knew that if you're relatively healthy, you weren't going to die from the vaccine. And then from there, we went from, well, it doesn't kill you, to, you probably won't have to go to the hospital. And then from, you probably won't have to go to the hospital, is now you're going to need a booster shot every few months, because if not, then the vaccine is basically ineffective. And even with the booster, you still have to wear your masks, you still have to social distance. And I think, obviously, we have I heard about the travel restrictions that were possibly coming from Biden a few months back. I don't think anything actually happened with that, but that could happen too. And we saw Fauci. I think I covered this a few months ago. He even talked about not knowing whether there could be more lockdowns and stuff like that, and because of the new Omicron variant. And some people, the people who don't think too much might think, well, yeah, of course they don't know, because we don't know how bad this virus is going to be, blah blah blah, and you just got to be safe. But the thing is, when we were promised vaccines, even way back with Trump, because you got to remember, Trump was actually pro-vaccine from the very beginning. This was supposed to be something that would stop the virus. But even before the vaccines, what was supposed to stop the virus initially was what was it? A month to stop the spread. I think it started 2 weeks to stop the spread. First, we had to worry about stopping the actual spread, and then they said, whatever, when vaccines will come, we'll be fine. Everybody will be safe and protected. And now it's like people have short-term memory. We're at that point where vaccines are available for pretty much anyone that gets it. I don't think you should get the vaccine, but if people do get it, I mean, can't physically stop anyone. But hypothetically, those vaccines should be able to protect the people, which clearly it's not doing here. I know I might be repeating a little bit of what you hear often. If you watch me, you're probably into this. You probably aren't stupid, but I feel like this is something that has to be said, and you have to be reminded of, because it is easy to like really forget about it. Sometimes you might see all these people around you, everyone's getting vaccinated. You might think, am I really the crazy one here? Am I really gonna get fired over this, get kicked out of school over this? Basically get into fights with family over this. But you gotta be reminded of this stuff, so you remember that you're right and everybody else is wrong. And most people, like I always say on here, are just not to be like, aggressive, but most people are just mindless NPCs that they don't really have anything going on inside their head. They just take information and they go, oh, okay, there's another vaccine. All right. I have to take this booster so I can get my job. All right. People are getting heart attacks in sports games out of nowhere after getting the vaccine. Oh, that's due to what do they call it? Post pandemic stress syndrome. Yes, make up stuff. They believe it. So that's what it is, really. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't feel like it's gonna change anytime soon. This is probably gonna keep going on until we put a stop to it. And the only one who's really trying anything that's actually working is probably Nick Fuentes. Not to simp him off, because I know I do talk about him a lot, but what he's been doing with his rallies and stuff has been the most effective thing I've ever seen. Actually getting people out there, actually going in the middle of places like New York City, where this is literally, New York City is like the epicenter where this is all going on. You have the most restrictions over there. He went over there. He got a lot of people out there. Even got Antifa to come out against him. So he's actually making some noise out there. A lot of people, they just, I guess, go outside with a sign and just stand there. Don't really get much attention. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Let me check the chat right here. Chinese Joe Biden says, I think lockdowns might be coming, ATP, due to the left tyranny. Yeah, I think, like I said a few minutes ago, I'm pretty sure I did cover something either in a video or in a past stream about Fauci. He did come out and he said, we don't know if there's going to be any lockdowns because of the new variant. And to me, I don't know, just sounds like, yeah, there'll probably be new lockdowns eventually at some point in time, because every time they say maybe or I don't know or that's not happening, it ends up happening. And we warn everybody, but they call us crazy. They call us conspiracy theorists. They call us liars. And then we end up being right. And everybody forgets or makes excuses or tries to retcon reality or something. So, yeah, I agree with that. And you seen it when I think it was Biden's press secretary came out and said way back, they said we're never gonna do a mandate. That's not in our plans. But they did go out, they did mandates, or they attempted to. I think they're not technically implemented yet, but Biden did say about them. The federal mandates for the COVID vaccine, he said, act as if they are implemented. So they're just doing what they want. They lie to people straight to their faces, and people mostly just eat it up. Peppers Groper says thoughts on Tucker. I mean, he's based in all. I don't really watch him, if I'm being honest. I don't really watch the actual news like that on TV or anything. So I don't have much to say about him. But he's pretty based from what I've seen, and he's been saying a lot more base stuff more and more recently, especially on immigration and stuff like that, or like race. I don't keep up with him like very closely, but yeah, mostly I hear good things about him. Anyways, that's I guess the whole COVID stuff here. I don't want to go on that too long. Move on to our second story, probably our last, unless I don't know. I usually at the end I just talk to you guys for a bit. But our next story is going back into the alt tech subject. I know I made this video about Truth Social like months ago when it was first announced, and we're getting some more news on that. I think this is the first time I've seen some news about it in quite some time now. I talked about it when it first came out. We don't know too much about it other than it's supposedly some free speech, the next free speech platform made by Trump himself. So it'll obviously have a lot of money put into it. I'd assume a lot of people will be on it since Trump is very, very popular. But what I said there is I don't think it'll be a success. I don't think this will actually rival the Twitter like people say. And the whole thing about Truth is that social media platform, from my understanding, is not the only thing he's doing. Apparently, the whole Trump Media Management Group or whatever it's called. It's like this whole thing they have. I think they're gonna have like news stuff and other things going on. But I focus more on the actual social media app part of things, since that's what the only thing that we actually can use or what we need right now. Obviously, most of the most news outlets are corrupt and they're not good, but who cares about the news when you have a big social media platform that we're allowed to post on and not get censored, which we don't have right now. I mean, I guess we have Gab, which I'll talk about a bit later. uh I know I've talked about Gab on the show before. My opinions on it have sort of changed a little bit, not really, but I'm kind of pro Gab now a little bit, but I'll get into that later. But on the Truth Social thing, I said I don't think it'll be a success, because all it's gonna do is gonna attract all these boomers and stuff, just like every other alt tech social media platform right now. And it's not gonna be anything new. It's gonna be a repeat of what we already have, except on a much bigger scale. We're just gonna be out there. I guess it'll be good that we don't get censored. It'll be good that Trump's there. But other than that, there would be really no other benefit. It'll just be on like Gab right now. We're just talking amongst ourselves, and then we have like all like the boomers and like a lot of other people like all these what are they? The Wignats as well. They're on there too. Always looking for confrontation and stuff. It's basically those three main groups. You got the Groypers, the Boomers, and the Wignats all together in one space. And it's not really it doesn't have like the entertainment aspect of it that makes people want to stay on. And that's how I think Truth Social will go down. But anyways, let's get into the actual news here of Truth Social. I'll read off this article here. It says Trump Media Group on Tuesday announced it is negotiating with Canadian online video platform Rumble to provide a stage for a subscription on-demand video service. The organization, headed by former U.S. President Donald Trump, said that it has already inked a deal to have a specialty firm, which is popular with political conservatives, provide wide-ranging technology and cloud services. Trump Media and Technology Group has launched a Truth Social online platform for invited guests using Rumble, according to a release. I have selected the Rumble Cloud to serve as a critical backbone for TMTG infrastructure, Trump said in the release. The 75-year-old was thrown off of Twitter, his preferred communications conduit while president, as well as Facebook and YouTube after January 6th insurrection, in which a mob of Trump supporters, riled up by his repeatedly false claims that the November 2020 election was stolen from him, assaulted the U.S. Capitol. Rumble will be streaming online for Truth Social, and talks are taking place to have the firm use its technology for an on-demand subscription video product called TMTG Plus, according to the release. U.S. regulators are scrutinizing a deal between Trump's fledgling social media company and an investment vehicle to bring the former president's venture to the stock market, documents showed last week. The companies, once merged, say they plan to launch social media platform Truth Social nationally early next year, hoping to rival services like Twitter. Digital World Acquisition Corp, already listed on the Wall Street, announced in late October that it will merge with TMTG, allowing the ex-president's venture to be listed without the usual procedures. Digital World is Special Purpose Acquisition Company, SPAC, sometimes called a blank check company, because it is set up with the sole purpose of merging with another entity. Trump says the new platform will be an alternative to Silicon Valley internet companies that he says are biased against him and other conservative voices. Currently for pre-order on the App Store, expected launch is set for the first quarter of 2022. So that's it right there. I guess it's sort of a big addition to what we already knew. So I guess it wouldn't be just like Twitter. There's going to be a paid subscription service to it. From my understanding from all of this, you'll be able to have videos on Truth Social, not just clips. I guess you could get full-on videos on there. Like if it's another, like how Gab has Gab TV, Truth Social, I guess we'll have TMTG Plus where you could upload on there as well. So I did want to mention this because I guess we're getting more and more of an idea of what this will actually be like. It's expected for next year. It still says, I guess, the first quarter of 2022. It could be anywhere from like January through April, and we've been knowing this since they've announced it. And I think actually, as of now, they are holding like private tests or something with invited people. I remember them saying that when they originally announced it. They said that late 2021, I think they were gonna let people get on it to beta test it. So yeah, people have been talking about this for a very long time, and it seems like it's finally happening. But the real question is, will this change anything at all? And I don't know. I want to know what you guys think, to be honest, too. I know. Let me know what you guys think if it will be successful or not. But I'm just gonna keep my stance that this really is not what we need right now. What we need right now is someone who is outside of politics and just happens to make not a free speech web. Someone outside of politics just happens to make a social media platform which happens to be free speech, not something that it's made by someone who's very political, and not something that is advertised as being free speech or for patriots or no censorship, because that's not going to get you anywhere. I mean, look, this is where I want to get into Gab. Gab is, I guess, good to have for now. We have a place where we can go on there, we can talk with each other, not get censored, say whatever we want, basically. We can, I guess, just be ourselves. But the thing is, Gab is never going to be like Twitter. It's never going to grow to the size of it. And I know all the things that Torb always says, Twitter's had so much time ahead of us, which is true. There will definitely be improvements to Gab. I'm not criticizing Gab's, its UI or how it works or, stuff like it doesn't have group chats and stuff. I'm not criticizing that. Obviously, there's definitely a lot of things that could be improved upon in terms of that. But there's just something that they'll never be able to take away is this whole politicized environment that they have on there. And it's not even like I'm the only one saying this. Most average people, especially the ones that are coming in recently, notice this right away. I remember when all of us got banned on Twitter and we had to go to Gab. I'd see a lot of people who I didn't really even know. They'd say, "Man, Gab, at least we can talk and stuff." But every time I get on here, it's always political. Every time I get on the timeline, it's either fellow groypers, which there's nothing wrong with, or boomers saying some crazy stuff, or wignats trying to attack us. And it's not really a place where we can just go and chill out and do, act like normal people and happen to have political conversation on it. If Twitter didn't have some, well, now it's some Indian guy in full control of it who hates white people. Admittedly, if you go back into his old tweets, it would be practically perfect. No one's obviously there's a lot of liberals on Twitter, a lot of left wing people. Everybody knows that, but really that's not the main problem. People, I know it's more of like outside of the dissident right. Usually, I guess I could put it that way. I see a lot of more neoconish guys, or people maybe that aren't that political but identify as right wing. I always see them complain, well, Twitter sucks. Twitter sucks because there's all these transgender people, all these gay people always trying to push your agenda. It's controlled by the left, which is true. Everything that goes trending on there against Trump and everything like that, it's intentional. And how it's not like a surprise that things are controlled by the left on there. But we could have a space there that is for us, and we could also have a space there that's for regular stuff, being a regular human being. For example, I had a Twitter on there for my YouTube channel, but I had a personal Twitter too, where it was just to be a regular dude. It's not to go out there and spread the truth like people do on Gab, or how Truth Social, instead of calling it tweets on there, they're calling it truths. You go on there and you talk the truth. That's not what people want. I guess certain people, like I know I mentioned boomers a lot, but it's because they're a lot of them are very hyper politicized, so they just go on there and they think they're all going to be activists and stuff like that. And obviously there's some that aren't like that, but that's not who's being attracted here, right? So that's basically my whole analysis on the alt tech situation. Will Trump's social media be a success? I don't know. I doubt it. Will it be better than nothing? Sure, but that's what we have right now is Gab. So will it be better than Gab? I guess in the sense that there will be more people on it, and we'll have Trump on there finally, because Trump does have a Gab account, but that's something that was just made by Andrew Torba. I think he just made that as an archive of all his tweets that he's made, and I guess now his Gabs on there. It seems to be like his when he does like a release, like a what's it called, like a statement or something. They just put copy paste it on there, but he actually doesn't control that Gab account. It has about 2 million followers, but for some reason that's another problem with Gab too. When you go on Gab, it like auto follows people for you when you first make your account. At least it did for me, and I think for other people as well. And Trump is one of them. So most people that follow Trump on there probably don't even get on Gab too often, anyways. That's why he doesn't have as much engagement, and it's all he's actually saying things on there like he used to on Twitter. So at least Truth Social will have Trump there. I guess he'll say whatever he wants. We'll be able to hear from him directly, and we won't be censored. That's pretty much it. Another thing with Trump, speaking of him, I remember way back when the election first, got resolved, just to put it that way, because we're on YouTube here. I thought, he'll take his break. He definitely needs it. He was in 4 years of probably a lot of stress, a lot of stuff going on in the White House. And then I thought eventually, he'll come back. He'll be vocal somehow. I mean, I know he's not on every social media platform, but he still is a very popular guy. He has ways to get his message out there. And obviously, we have the social media thing going on, but I just don't see Trump doing what I originally thought he would be doing by this point, which is actually, you know, getting things prepared for the midterms. Because the midterms, the problem is not whether we're going to win the midterms. We're probably going to win the midterms just because that's what usually happens. When one party wins the president, uh, the presidential election, usually the other party wins the midterms. Doesn't always happen, but it'll probably happen this year or next year, I should say. Especially the Biden has been very terrible. I don't think that they rig the mid. I mean, there's always some form of rigging going on in elections, but I don't think they'll do a full scale rig like that. Because I'd say on a local level, it's much harder. And what I thought, going back to what I was just saying, was that Trump would be getting things prepared for the midterms, not just to get anybody in, because we'll obviously win, like I said, or I hope we do, and if we do, we'll win. But he's not making any major changes with the people who are being elected. It seems like we're just gonna have the same old people going back into office and doing really nothing to change the situation. If we do win, which we probably will, he's not out there endorsing these new people or people who we know are going to be really loyal to him or closer to his ideology. There's been a few mediocre, or I haven't seen exactly everyone he's endorsed so far, but for things earlier, he's done some mediocre endorsements after the election. So, like, what's going on is my question. Like, I guess we'll have to see. I guess when the Truth Social comes out, maybe he'll start doing that. But my thing is, it's already 2022 in a month, and I know the election is sort of far away. But you would think you'd want more time, you know. So Idomo says, "Let's go, yo, what's up, bro?" Anyways, that's pretty much it for that. Let's see what else. I don't know. I think that's pretty much everything I've been wanting to talk about. I only had two stories planned for today. Um, More because I didn't really see too much going on recently. Um, that hasn't really been covered too much. Usually when I stream, it's like funny. When I do stream, nothing really important happens, and when I take like a week or two off, is when everything's going on. I remember, I think it was something during last week happened. I was like, "Yo, I need to stream this," and I couldn't for whatever reason. And then, that's what got back here. Peppers Gorp says, "Did you watch MLS Cup?" Yeah, I did. I think I put a gab about it. I think I don't remember. Usually, I tweet about soccer stuff when I watch it, but yeah, I did watch that. It was pretty crazy. I thought New York City was about to blow it like they always do, but they got the job done somehow on penalties, which they were never able to win before. Before this year's playoffs. CL Zoomer said, "Good show today. Thanks, bro. Good to see you back here again." So yeah, I guess it's pretty much it for today. Like I said, I wanted to keep it sort of short today because either way, I'll be streaming more and more this week. I'm planning daily streams. I think tomorrow, is Nick's debate, right? Tomorrow's Friday, so I think tomorrow's Nick's debate, and I will be streaming that, not as a part of the show, obviously, but I usually do these live reactions apart from it, and those are usually pretty popular. People, for some reason, go on there a lot. Obviously, mainly to see Nick, but everyone usually stays along to hear me talk at the end. So those are pretty fun to watch. So I'll definitely be doing that. Let me check on Telegram. It probably should be on there. I'm not too familiar with the guys debating, so that'll be interesting. Let's see. All right, there you go. On the 17th. So yes, tomorrow Nick is going to be debating Dave Smith. If you don't know, then you know now. And if you're going to be able to watch it on here with us, then I think you should. It's usually pretty good. Who did Nick debate last time? I think it was if I remember correctly. Oh, it was Sticks, I think. I streamed that one. Hold on, let me check on my YouTube. The last one I streamed. It was probably the last one that happened. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was the Sticks debate. That one was a pretty messy debate, to be honest. Breppis Groiper says Nick will win the debate. Nick wins every single debate. Not to be a simp, but I've watched a lot of his debates, almost all of them, even the ones that were from before I was a fan. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think I've seen a single one where he lost. I guess, obviously I agree with him, but he's a very good debater. And the last debate, as I was saying, it wasn't too good in the sense that Sticks, I think, had a different idea of what was being debated. What was it about again? They were talking about China, and Nick was saying China surpassing America, something along the lines of that would be good for us, as in the dissident right in America. And Sticks was basically telling him stuff like, well, in China you'd get beheaded for your views, they'd kill you. But that wasn't like, it's not the same argument that was going on. It was like two different arguments going on at the same time. They're trying to debate, but they couldn't because they were both arguing different things that didn't have to do with each other really. Sticks sort of took it as Nick saying that China was more ideal than America, but that's not what Nick was saying at all. So I didn't I thought it was fun to watch and all, but I guess I'm excited for this one now because I'm hoping to see more of a real debate, not just confusion going on. Obviously, Nick won the last debate as well, but it was more a lot of confusion going on there, and Sticks didn't really even attack the actual point. All right, so that's it for today, guys. More on the shorter side, I know, but next time I'll see you guys tomorrow in the debate. Unless something happens where I can't stream it, I'll let you guys know. Obviously, check my Gab. That's where I am now. That's where most people are now. So go follow me on there, and I'll update you guys on when I'll be streaming tomorrow. I usually start a little bit before, but I'll let you know the exact time. Probably tomorrow morning. I'm completely free tomorrow, so I should be able to stream it, and I guess we'll have a good time. Follow me on my other links. I don't even know what's in my links anymore since I'm banned on Twitter, and I deleted some other stuff. I have a BitChute now, sort of for a backup to this, so I guess you can follow me there as well. But other than that, I appreciate all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding and bring it out here. We won't go until we got some. We won't go until we got some. We won't go until we got some. So bring some out here. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding and bring it